Delicious Festival is coming back in 2024, and it'll be happening between the 21st and the 22nd of September. So make sure you get your tickets.
But they'll surprise you and bring M&A. Marshall Mathers. I'm playing my closet.
We didn't vote for this. We voted for a party. We didn't vote for two parties to come together.
All these small parties are just to break up the votes from the ANC. South African not really packed. But you know what I mean. Actually,
so Mama Lomfana is IC.
But he's scammer.
But obviously, I mean, he's 22-year-old. Where is he getting a 4 million rand car?
But from his music. That's the only thing that bangs. My girlfriend, he has no bang. Twitter. Kenyans reject the Finance Bill 2024, amend economic hardship and repression.
Introducing Color Space, a stock photo platform dedicated to showcasing images of Black people. Whether you're a professional photographer or you just know your way around a smartphone, sign up, submit your photos, and start earning through your creativity. Visit www.colorspace.co.za.
Our shooty is in the building. Pincham, all right?
Man, too smooth.
Too smooth.
Yeah,
Yeah, we in some face.
Sure. I am seasons. Mini winter was beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Like I would say the first half before June. Big band and then no magshis because life was tough for me. Yeah? Life was tough. Yeah,
it was cold outside.
Now
cold.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good. Man.
Yeah, ben vest, then Guni vest, but I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
They're gonna think I'm an MK supporter. Let me hide that.
But how's the week been?
Last week was good. Hey, last week was good. Just a lot of political stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of racism talk.
In fact,
we've been seeing old videos surfacing.
Yeah.
Ian Cameron, Ronaldo
Cameron.
Cameron Ipraga, Ronaldo Horse.
Oh, they took a picture together, ne?
They took a picture together.
And Ian Cameron is, sorry to disturb, Ian Cameron is Prime Minister in the UK?
No. DA guy.
Oh, he's
also a member of parliament,
Oh.
DA. He was part of the Afri Forum. And he was always vocal about being anti-black.
Oh, okay.
Super vocal. At some point, there's a video of him that surfaced as Fageb Swen in Temnyama.
I saw that.
Because
yes.
he was like, they want to get attention, I think, of the court or whatever. Go to why are they granting black people jobs? Studying. Certain white people can't study certain things because they are not of the right skin color.
Because of PE, they're fighting PE.
Yep. I didn't know that it even happened in schools. But for me, why did you have to paint your face?
I think it's a belungu.
Yeah, well, Lentia Coalition, I was supporting it. Now I think it's nonsense.
But
I think
let's call it a coalition. Actually,
yeah.
I mean, this is my strong opinion on it, right? The ANC was formed as a liberation struggle,
sure,
to fight against the white domination.
Yes.
And the white domination has formed itself to become the DA, has it not?
Yes.
The DA is seen as the white people we were fighting.
Yeah.
And the ANC is the one that was fighting.
Yeah.
How is it they're calling it a government of unity when those two don't even meet?
Nah,
Doesn't
I think that's
even
just
make
a
sense.
fancy term. They didn't want to say coalition. It's a coalition, right?
Sure.
It is. We like it or not. Because if it was a government of unity, why bangekho laba abanye, the other guys? Because you could have called everyone.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah.
Where are they now?
Yeah.
Where they are sidelining some people like Abo, who's this guy? Where PA, Patriotic Alliance, Gaten.
Gaten
They're
Mackenzie.
sidelining Abo
definitely.
Gaten. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm not understanding this thing, and I think the ANC was also a bit dumb by sending Ufigile. Because I think he didn't even read the terms. Zalenta Basaini. Yeah. Yeah.
That was embarrassing, dude.
It is embarrassing, man. On live TV in Daven Bashogut, no, he should have checked clause 24.
But
I'm
he
like,
didn't check clause 24.
homie was rushing for his trip to Dubai or something.
But that's why I'm saying I don't think this thing. Here's my theory. The ANC has always been captured by the DA.
Yeah.
As we know, most political parties are sponsored by the rich people, the
billionaires.
Oppenheimers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and which we are fighting the white people. So if this party that is formed and was formed to fight against the liberation struggle, are we liberated?
I don't think so, my G.
Interesting.
I don't
one.
think so. And this podcast is not about. We're not pro-black.
No.
We pro South Africa,
yeah,
right?
straight up. Yeah,
We are pro South Africa. We are pro positivity. And if there's any sign of racism being picked up, whether it's from the ANC side, that's why EFF. I'm not really a fan because they sidelining the other race.
Sure,
you understand?
yeah.
They want it to be all about, but it's not about that. We're building a country here, and we should come together to build it.
So now, do you think then the ANC and the DA should come together?
Nah, fuck that. Mind my language. I'm sorry about
But
that. Like,
I think a lot of us we didn't vote for this. We voted for a party. We didn't vote for two parties to come together.
Exactly, to come together with whatever manifestos that they had.
Or did we not read what it meant if that happened? Because like for argument's sake, there is a thing if like nobody votes at all, the government, the country goes into something else, like whether it's a dictatorship or something like that.
Yes.
So maybe we
I think
didn't
read. I think it's default. I think it's default vote.
Yeah,
I don't know.
happens,
Yeah, something
there's
of that nature. Sure.
So I think there's consequences to us even voting how we voted.
And I think a lot of people, like I was chatting Nabo Tumelo, and what Tumelo said is that, and you said it, right? Uguti, all these small parties are just to break up the votes from the ANC. And what he said, Utumelo, we should just vote for the ANC. We shouldn't be confused by what is getting out there, what narrative people are pushing, what manifestos they have. They might look shiny, but they're just trying to get votes away from the ANC.
Sure, that's obviously if you're trying to be pro ANC and pro what they're doing. That's exactly what happened. That is the truth, dude.
Yeah,
There's
I think
no
let's
other
vote.
way.
Let's vote for the devil. I'm sorry, I'm not telling you guys what to vote for. I'm talking about you. Let's vote for the devil we know. Rather we protest and do what they did in what's that other country? Is it where the president had to run away?
Pakistan, was it not?
Was it Pakistan?
Where they stormed his palace.
Yeah, and they were chilling there watching the news.
They were watching themselves.
They're watching themselves on TV. I think we should rather do that. Rather we hold them accountable, because this thing that's happening now with these videos, now I know it's probably a smear campaign that they are doing. Nagubo Paul Mashatile. That's what they claim to say, right?
Yeah.
But there's just a lot happening, and the people of South Africa didn't vote for this nonsense.
No.
The people of South Africa voted for change, and there's no change happening right now. I think it's all about white this, black this. We don't want that.
And it's
we
definitely
want unity.
And it's definitely like that. But the unity is not happening, guys. I said this, and we're talking about politics, guys. And we've probably been talking about it for the past 5 minutes in Bijam, because politics is a big thing right now in this country, and it's important that we know as youth, important that we know as people what's happening right now. But that is our opinion. We're obviously going to skip to it very quickly.
Yeah, let's skip.
We in Cameron, I obviously is and then what's happening with this 22-year-old with $1 million?
So I saw this picture on Twitter. Hey, Twitter, people are hating on Twitter.
Yeah.
This 22-year-old Shem, Unemoto, 4.2 million. He's got a G-Wagon, right? Nice G-Wagon, but now they're like, he got a nice car, but downgraded his girlfriend.
Oh, he out?
Yeah, he out. He out. DJ Melzi.
Oh. Okay.
DJ Melzi.
Because he needs to buy the G-Wagon.
No, because he had a dime.
Oh.
Apparently now the chick he has is not a dime.
Oh.
And I think that's subjective, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because bona bakulma lapha on Twitter. Have you seen their girlfriends? They must relax. Because we'll have that competition and it won't end nice.
It won't end nice.
And Umels also win.
Too much, Lana.
But in country, Umels, he only like I think we commissioning what Yagu IEC. And there's currently a fraud investigation of some sort that's happening. IEC. I don't know how much they took, but ikhuluma ngama-million.
So umama kalomfana is
IEC. But he's scammer.
But obviously, I mean, he's 22-year-old. Where is he getting a 4 million rand car?
But from his music. That's the only thing that bangs. My girlfriend, he has no bang. Twitter.
There was a line by Stogie T. I can't remember it, but he's like, I think he says the same thing, like, oh, Louis or something, no bars or something like that, but it's the same thing. Shame. So Homeboy has no hits.
No, Basho Njalo, I mean, I don't know those DJ, man.
The only bangers he has is his girlfriend.
Ish, bro.
Gobi. DJ Melzi is in quite a lot. And then I see South African cricket team played. And they remain unbeaten as they defeat West Indies by 3 wickets to reach the T20 semi-finals.
Ooh! Are we in the semis?
Semi-finals.
My
That's
G.
good news, right?
My G, that's too good.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a lot of things going on right now in sports. So I know obviously the
Yeah.
Proteas are playing and the Springboks also played Wales over the weekend and we thrashed them. But funny enough, at the same time, the Blue Bulls were playing. And it seems like we fielded our C team, but we still won by so far.
Damn. Go my Blue Bulls.
No, so the Blue Bulls were playing at the same time as the Springboks.
So my Springbok Beglali C
Beglali
team. Is that
C
what
team,
you-
yeah, and
Damn,
still
man.
Sabashaya.
Damn, man, in a C class.
Sabashaya. So yeah, shout out to the SA cricket team for
Shout out
for
to
the
South
work.
Africa as a whole, except the politicians.
Yeah, I love
Fans.
that's Bafund.
We must put them on ice.
Sure, but then there's another politician here. Our Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi, he was scheduled to do or to reveal his cabinet on Sunday, but then he called it off. Do you know what might have happened?
Yeah, I think Bamchele Ukuthi, there must be someone of the DA within that cabinet. Yeah.
Mara ngiyabona iDA
Because
ifaka
of
ama demands mfana.
Bafaka ama-demand too
Uwabonile?
much. Hey, Umbags kanti usayineni. What did Homeboy sign?
So these guys want economic sector investment, employment, and infrastructure development. So it's Minister of Minerals, Resources, Minister of Transport, Minister of Trade and Industry. They want Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. They want Minister of Higher Education. They want Minister of Public Service and Administration, Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Minister of Justice, Minister of Home Affairs, Minister of International
Justice is
Relations,
ngabaningi.
Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies.
Aye,
But apparently they also want the Finance Department.
They want deputy president.
And Deputy President,
also.
yes, and Deputy President. So that's what they've put through, yes. So there's quite a lot. I mean, that's the whole cabinet. It's
But
nuts.
why is it just them? Why? Where's IFP? Where's Rise? They must rise up right now.
But they're not in the coalition. Like it's,
These
so
guys.
they actually no. They actually, you're right. They should be coming in for. But maybe they don't get. Maybe they don't have enough seats. To
Where's
get.
IFP then? Because IFP is part of this.
Sure, but these are just demands. So it's not a final
it's
thing.
a wish list.
It's a wish list.
And you never clear that card,
Yeah,
eh?
you never clear that card. Why do 2 items?
Because the budget is too tight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there because, when we voted, obviously we didn't vote for this. We talked about it.
Sure.
But we've seen the DA making a lot of demands and making the real forefront decisions and the requests to the public. And we've seen the DA doing way more legwork in this GNU than the ANC and I think the IFP, not IFP, which other parties involved again?
It's IFP.
IFP,
It's
yeah.
those three. Yeah.
So those other two are not doing as much legwork as we actually need. We hearing from the DA instead of actually hearing from all of them.
100%.
And in fact, they telling the ANC to stop doing those things because they need their kind of decision. So this is kind of in the dark for people who didn't vote for this. But that's what's happening right now in the political space. And in Ebumnandeni Delicious Festival, yabuya.
Yeah, boy.
Yabuya.
Shit. I hope they plan better.
I hope so too. I hope they bring
Yeah.
better artists. I'm not gonna lie. So last year, who
Who do you think they should bring? The hottest artist right now, according to me, Ghana.
Delicious
If
on
you know
Saturday.
Ghana, I'm there.
I think if they just diversify their acts instead of one act,
True.
have different international acts.
Yeah.
So instead of having one on Saturday, one on Sunday, give us two on Sunday. As in, I'm okay with listening to Music Soul Child and whoever is slow playing on there because
Saka baby,
I'm not in a rush. Yeah.
You're like
It's just
slow moving
But
music.
on a Saturday, let's rock, dog.
Saturday has to be up, boy.
It has to be
Saturday
up.
has to be up. We need your Ghanas. We need your what? Yeah, we need that.
But last year they brought Benner Boy as far as it's Benner Boy, yeah. They
no,
brought
wasn't Benner Boy the year
before. Who was
Yeah.
last year then?
Wasn't Thames?
Thames, I think it was
it
Thames.
Thames?
Yeah, and come on, guys. Thames is great, but I don't think she's an international level like that
Yeah.
everybody goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, they have their own.
But they'll
audience.
surprise you and bring M&M. Marshall Mathers. That's what I'm playing. Hey, I'm a closet.
Let me tell you something though. That will be probably the quickest sold out Delicious festival ever. Because we've never seen Eminem live in SA. He did come once.
True.
And I think he didn't really like it. Not, I think it was raining. Not many people knew. But now Eminem came, dude. I mean, jeez.
Yep.
But yeah, Delicious Festival is coming back in 2024. And it'll be happening between the 21st and the 22nd of September. So make sure you get your tickets. And this is definitely not advertising. But yeah, it should be exciting. That's some news we should tell you about. Is there anything else, Libs?
There's something really interesting that I watched this morning with regards to in Namibia and revoking visa. What's this? Visa exemption for 31 countries, right? But the government has resolved to introduce entry visa requirements for countries that have not reciprocated its visa exemption gestures, right? So yabo la makhandra bafana nabo USA, UK, where we as Africans can't really enter there and roam as freely, but they can come here and do whatever.
Of course.
So manje ibafakile kuleyo list.
In Namibia.
Yeah, ibafakile abo US, you need a visa to go to Namibia. And they're encouraging more African countries to do that. Because Dangote, the richest man in Africa, as much as he's the richest man and he's got interest in most countries in Africa, he can't roam as freely because he's Nigerian. At the end of the day, a passport as a Nigeria, you can't move.
In fact, we're born in Nigeria and you're already
Exactly. Kamanga une business la eletimali in South Africa, but you have to go through a tedious visa process just to come see your investment, and you are growing that economy. But Elon Musk can come here and live as they please.
Anytime.
So we need to put that on them. And we as Africans should open up, mustn't open up borders. I say, it means visa free, right?
Yeah.
I'm able to go to Nigeria and work from there, do whatever. Let's do that for one another instead of allowing all these Europeans and what to come here.
Our borders are already open anyway.
And Tina's Konogue, we can't even go there, my G.
Yeah, sure. We can roam around Africa though for free.
Where?
Ask me how.
How?
Crocodile. Jump a wall.
Crocodile.
Something. I mean, I don't think there's a country in Africa that's got foolproof borders. Like Banbas cross-sell however they want. But I agree with you. I think that's a nice thing to do, that we need to close our borders for everybody so that we're able to enter. And Africa on its own, we need to be able to cross borders in Africa, still controlled, but freely. I need a visa, or I need this, I need that to get into an African country.
Yes.
I should, the fact that I'm South African, and I do the right checks should mean that I'm okay. For Nigerian, same thing.
100%. But go through the right process. You are in that country.
And everything. And I think it would work so much better, because look at the US. The US is literally like you can roam around in any state you want.
Yeah. And Maupeg, US is like Africa because all those states are countries.
Countries basically on its own,
but they all united
in one. Why can't we do the same? But that's interesting. So a lot of things are definitely trending on X platform right now. We see the MK and the EFF also. Discussion is happening right now, Libs.
What discussion is that?
Coalition.
Oh,
I think it's possible because Zuma and Malema are actually friends.
Hey, that's doomsday, Mikey. That is dooms.
That is definitely doomsday. But yeah, I'm just looking at here some of the things that are trending right now. I see obviously the show Married at First Sight, which we spoke about last week, is also on here, which is actually interesting. And then we see
Married at First Sight. Which one is that? Is it the Brazil one?
No, it's Married at First Sight Mzansi.
We spoke about it last week.
Yeah, so I see it's in the trends here. People are talking about it quite a lot. It's an interesting show. If you know about it, please do let us know. But let's jump into the stats.
Yeah, we can jump straight into the stats, my G. What's no, let's look at the total mentions. Like how many tweets went out last week, how many unique authors, and the likes.
Sure. So let's jump onto the stats. And again, if you guys know anything else that trended and we missed it, please do let us know. We're not as cool as you guys. But last in terms of the stats on Twitter, we're seeing 7.3 million mentions last week, which is a 4% increase. And then in terms of the unique authors, which is a 4% decrease, we're seeing 150,000 unique authors. So that's something that just happened last week.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Just an up and
down. I thought it was gonna actually increase with what's happening right now with all this racism
And obviously the
talk with
sports.
coalition, sports.
Sure, yeah, in terms of unique authors. But of course, the mentions went up. So it means people are talking more, even though it's less people. So that's something interesting to see. And then the sentiment from last week, we're seeing the negative went up by 6%, which is also not interesting. And then we see the positive went down by 3%, which is also not interesting at all. So it definitely has to do with what the politics. I mean, we talked about it now. That's all we've been talking about, politics, actually.
It's mostly with the negative sentiment. It's mostly around the racism videos that were circulating.
Ronaldo Ghost.
Ronaldo Ghost, Nalomfana lo,
Yes.
Ian Cameron. It's
Sure.
those guys. Those two
Sure.
people contributed to the 6%.
Definitely.
I'm not happy about
definitely.
that.
And we've seen a negative word. Racist is the biggest word here. And of course, we see EFF breaking South Africa Parliament. And what other words do we see here that might stand out?
President. But a lot of people were actually happy with what is it? Inauguration. Yaga Ramiz. I was watching it, and I think, man, I must say, it was cool and all, but it's so British.
Of course.
Because we were colonized by them, right? But it is so British. Course. Couldn't we have made it like South African? At some point, bebadlala ingoma kaShaka Zulu. Boom, 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 boom.
Who still plays that?
He's not even in course. He's a president, right?
But, so everything was out of context, you say?
Nah, for me it was like with the cannons that they were firing, shooting, firing.
Yeah, no, that's
definitely. I was like, no,
definitely.
That's not us.
We don't.
Where are the dancers? Where's South Africa?
Yeah, where's South Africa?
Where's our Rainbow Nation in that? I didn't see it.
Tells you exactly who Ramizi is for.
Do you think if EFF was there, they'll be wearing their overalls?
No. They'll probably will be,
on stage,
but I think Malema would honor the day, and actually, if he was the person, he would
probably,
and he would follow the protocol, but he might have something to say about it. But because I think it's in the constitution of how it works, I don't know. But I think they would probably say something about it because why are we firing cannons, dog?
Nah, our culture was missing. Like in all of that, our culture, the essence of South Africa was missing.
Interesting take on that one. Nice on that one, Debs. Thanks for letting us know. And then what do we see in the positive sentiment?
The positive stuff, I'm still seeing people from Bibi Mzansi, which is very weird with their bots.
Yeah.
But also words like happy, beautiful, good morning, amazing. Those I'm also seeing. And I also see hashtag must sing SA. So that could be the contributors to the positive sentiment, which is amazing. It's great. But what I'm not seeing in the positive word cloud is actually any teams that are playing in the Euro.
Yeah, nothing is there. Not even the Proteas are on here.
Not even the Proteas, my
Interesting one. I mean, we definitely see that. I think maybe next week, because now we're going into the semifinals, I think, and then in terms of the Proteas, so that's going to be something interesting, and it might pick up a little bit more must win. And in the Euros are also getting closer to. I think they've played about now 20 games, so they're like halfway ish. So I think as we get closer, we'll definitely see them on here.
Sure, and there were a lot of interesting teams that were playing. Like Nama results were actually quite nice. I just want to tell you the top two teams in the different groups, if that's cool. So in Group A, number 1 is Germany, number 2 is Switzerland. In Group B, we have Spain, number 1, my favorite team. Number 2 is Italy. And then Group C, we have England. Right, England is performing this time around, but they always drop the ball somewhere, right? And then number 2 is Denmark. Denmark hasn't won even one game. It's just 2 draws. And then with Group D, we have the Netherlands and France. I know a lot of people are loving France. And then Group E, we have Romania. Romania is surprising everyone now. They won 1 game, lost 1, but they're already high up there. Number 2 is Belgium. And then Group F, the last one, there's Portugal, and number 2 is Turkey. I know all the it girls are wishing that Turkey wins so that they can get the BBLs on discount.
So if Turkey wins, they win
the South African. Not really pack,
but you
you know what I mean. Actually, bazopaga.
Ba-
because
ba-
mele
ba-
baye,
ba-
baye,
back to back.
Back to back,
But
boy.
yeah, those are interesting results. Ngiyakuza lokho zisho lama results lawa in the Euro. I haven't been following much, but you definitely guys have been. But shout out for that, Libs, for that update. And then let's go to the busiest hour and busiest day. Let's talk about the busiest day. We see that now it's Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday. The busiest day was actually Thursday, and what I'm seeing is hashtag reject finance bill 2024. There's also Ronald Horse.
Ronaldo
that
Horse,
one.
yes.
That one. Ronaldo or whatever. I don't even care about his name. I hope I butchered it. I see racism. There's hate. President GNU. The most interesting one is actually Reject Finance Bill 2024, right? I was thinking it's a South African thing, and no, it's something that's happening in Kenya.
Shucks, yes.
It's a Kenya conversation that's happening with the Kenyans reject the Finance Bill 2024, amend economic hardship and repression. And I'll tell you what's happening in Kenya. So, Google headline, the subtitle, yakona, eti police heavily repressed the protest against the Finance Bill 2024 on Tuesday, June 18. Hundreds were arrested and brutalized in Nairobi by police forces during protests against the government's finance bill, the writer says. So these people are taking action, but the economy for them to suffer like this in Kenya, it's because of I'm gonna go into the safari stuff. The safari stuff in Kenya, it's very expensive. Imagine Cape Town, but larger scale, right? Where a lot of Europeans and Americans are coming in with their thick wallets. We understand, and prices are going up in certain things. Probably normal Kenyans can't even afford to go to the Masai Mara. They can't even afford to go to see the Great Migration. That's in their own country. That's the number one wonder of the world that they can't even afford to see. So I think it's those kind of things. I don't know the deeper detail. This is just me talking from what I'm seeing from some of the research that I've done and documentaries that I've watched.
You're definitely right about that one. That's very good insights. Travel and tourism is big, and once it becomes too expensive for the locals, it prices everybody else out. Just like the property market.
Because the property is
so that's a good explanation. For dollars,
100%.
For definitely. So that's an interesting one in what's happening in Kenya and the busiest day. Let's go
the
to
busiest
the busiest hour. What's
hour.
happening
In the morning, we have 10 a.m. followed by 9 a.m. So that's still the sweet spot.
Okay.
8, 9, 10. You can post around that time, right? It's the best time to get engagement on your post. But in the evening actually has the highest engagement, which is higher than the morning, between 8 p.m., which is the highest, followed by 7 p.m. So I would say 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., that's the best time to post in the evening.
Interestingly, that's when TV shows
and that's
are
when the power of second screaming. There is second screaming also. Second screening.
Netflix are still watching us. Yeah, you're right. So second screening is happening right there. Abantu are busy on their phones. So that's true, dude. That's just so true. The shows are happening. You have to leverage, and when the busiest times, and we talk about it, shows are always trending, which means people are awake and alive when TV shows are actually happening. They're watching, so which means you can interact with them. And we know how humans are. People are always on the phone and watching something else too. We can't really keep our attention on one thing.
Sorry to jump in, Justin J. There's a crazy observation that I've been doing for the past couple of months, right? I was engaging with some strategists, which are my colleagues. It's crazy how the world is going to go back to what it was. We're talking about TV now. Video on demand is what it is right now. You can watch what you want whenever you watch. But live TV is also going to come back. Live TV is going to come back to take over the entire thing.
I was saying
begin Netflix. Netflix is actually introducing live. Yeah, there's a show that I watched just today, and it's a live show, and you can watch it every Wednesday at a specific time. It's going to be live on Netflix.
Interesting.
It's crazy good. It's going to look cool to us. We're like, oh, this is so cool. But we've been having live TV for the longest time. We even had presenters on SABC. You remember, before a show, they would come on and be like, yo, we're about to get into generation.
Let's go.
And they got paid.
They got paid for that. That's an interesting one. So you're saying the Netflix and all the likes are actually doing the
They're
same
gonna
thing.
get it. Live TV is coming back. Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting one. Look out for that for those geeky guys that want to keep up to the trends. That's something that you can definitely keep up to. All right, Pinjami, should we jump on to the top trends for the week?
Trends, bro. Trends. Trendy.
Umanju number 5 word, so please actually start from number 5.
Number 5 to number 3. So number 5 we have Must Singer SA. It's not the first time they've been at it. They've been showing up with 7,000 mentions. And what is this? Is this 39 million? No, it's 300. Yeah, 396 million impressions. And then number 4 we have Born Into Fame. That's
the
the
TV show
TV
we
show
talked about.
we talked about. Lagna Bantwana Baga. Who's that guy? Robbie
Robbie
Malinga. That guy is so funny.
It's a
I haven't watched it.
character,
I'm still yet to watch it. But it got 9,000 mentions and 446 million impressions, which I think it's
Nice
very
one.
good for a new show. It's doing well, man.
Sure.
It's
I mean, in its first week coming out,
Top
it's been
4.
trending twice in
We
our topics.
understand.
Yeah, so this is the second week it's trending.
that's amazing. Shout out, guys. Shout out. And then number 3 we have Euro 2024. I haven't seen anyone tweet about this. If Cyril hasn't tweeted about it, then no one has tweeted about it.
It hasn't gotten hot as yet.
Yeah.
There are some hot games here and there that you definitely have to
Sure.
watch. I know tonight Albania is playing Spain.
Oof.
And who else? Let me just check here quickly.
Albania is going to get a beating of their life, my G.
They're definitely going to get a beating because then Italy's playing Croatia because Spain beat Italy last week. And so I think out of these two, one has to come number 1. And then obviously, number 1 plays number 2 from the other group. And then number 2 plays number 1.
Group stages or top 16,
group
somewhere
stages,
like
top 16. Yeah. So right now, there's still quite a long way to go. But thanks for those results. The Euro is coming in at number 3 in the top trending hashtags.
So the Euro got 17,000 mentions. But the impressions are not as big. I was expecting the billions, but they're in 441 million impressions, which is not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too shabby at all. I mean, it's an interesting one. It is something that's going on for quite some
Sure.
time. It ends somewhere in July. But coming in at number 2, we've got hashtag presidential inauguration 2024. A really interesting one. The first one, obviously, I think it's a once-off thing that might just happen in South Africa, but it actually received 17,000 posts and 352 million impressions. So let's shout out to that. It was a big event. We talked about it. And then coming in at number 1, which was also talked about it, which is strange for us because it's not a South African thing, but actually hashtag reject finance bill 2024, which is the Kenya conversation we just spoke about with 4,000 mentions, 45,000 mentions, and just give me another second here. I need to make sure that I count these ones very nicely. It's 166 million impressions. So it didn't get as many impressions as the presidential inauguration or the Euros or the Born Into Fame. However, it actually came up as quite an important conversation.
From a different country to another country. I think they're just showing us how it's done because we as South Africans are quick to tweet about 4 million rand cars and saying bad things about other people, but we can't really stand up for our own rights.
For sure, we can't act.
We can't act like how the Kenyans are doing it.
For sure, yeah. So coming at number 1, definitely reject finance bill at number 1 in South Africa. It's not good news, so we're not definitely going to clap for it.
Yeah.
But shout out to the people that are doing this movement. So that's the shout out right there. And those are the top trending hashtag. Emuzansi. My nigga, let's go to the top trending people, the people that were mentioned the most. And I number 1 way to Sambono Sasekona.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing this guy, how he's earning money, but
I don't want him to get this money, this guy.
Same here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do the top 5 and then you do the top 2 for us. So coming in at number 5, we see M Blue J, M_Blue J with 19,000 mentions, and he also got 85 million impressions, 86 million impressions. So shout out to him for that. And then coming in at number 4, which I didn't want actually, Adrian Rose. That's not nice at all. We obviously talked about him and what he did with his racist remarks, but he got 20,000 mentions and he also received 69.
I think people are not... guys, stop atting him because you're making him get money.
From Twitter.
Yeah, don't at him.
With his impressions, he definitely is getting it. But at number 3 coming in is at MDNS News with 22,000 mentions, and they definitely had a lot of impressions on here, which is 221 million impressions. So shout out to at MDNS News. Of course, I'm sure they're taking out the hottest news right now. What's our top 2?
Number 2, we have at our_DA with 22,000 mentions and 78 million impressions.
Not too bad. I mean, it's the second time they're coming onto our stats.
Yeah.
Ever since the voting that has happened,
Yep.
and we found out exactly what the GNU means, they've been coming in as one of the most mentioned.
Sure.
And of
sure.
course, I think people are frustrated about what's happening. I mean, some are frustrated, some are happy. Just
Yeah.
different mixed
Like
things.
I said, people, it's not what we voted for, right?
Have you noticed my ANC is not in the top
It's
top
not
5?
even in. Yeah, it's not even in
They're
the
in the
top
top
5.
10
They're in
though.
the top 10, but not top 5.
Mbalula is in the top 10.
Eish.
Gaten Mackenzie is in the top
Eish.
10. Just shows you this is the politics
Yeah.
that's happening right now.
Yeah.
But they're not being mentioned. And we know the ANC was being mentioned quite a lot during the voting,
Mhm.
before the voting.
Mhm.
But now after the voting, Sebetul
Sideline homies.
and Nadia is coming at number 2 as the moon mentioned in South Africa. Shout out. Who's our number 1?
Number 1, the legend himself. At
The
Chris
legend.
XL 102.
Yeah.
With 32,000 mentions and 299 million impressions.
Shout out to Chris XL coming in at number 1 in South Africa for the most mentioned. Guys, we're not making these stats up, by the way. People are mentioning
Yeah.
at Chris XL
You are
102.
mentioning.
You are mentioning at Chris XL 102. When you say, hey, yeah, when I stop tweeting
Yeah,
at
wait,
Chris
now,
XL.
Chris, you are toxic.
It
At Chris
counts,
toxic.
yeah.
Yeah.
And here we see that he had the most impressions, which probably
Yep.
he got the most adverts
Yep.
underneath him. So shout
Mhm.
out to him for that one. And then do we have an ad of the week, Bicham?
Ad of the week, nah.
Yeah.
There's no ad of the week.
Hey, I'm still caught up on that advert from last week, bro.
Hey, man.
Whew.
Hey,
Everybody's
man. It's
talking
deep,
about
eh?
it. Everybody's
That
talking about
ad
that
is
advert.
deep,
Yeah. I've been seeing others, but that one is just still capturing my
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
So shout out to the team that did it. I mean, I saw from the agency's page that actually did it, which is Joe Public. Shout out to them for that. I mean,
shout out, guys.
what work.
Your work.
For sure. And people are talking about it on LinkedIn. It's just, it had that authenticity, authenticness. We talk about like what the parliamentary inauguration lacked.
That touch, man. That South African touch.
And you didn't have to be black. You didn't have to be
Nope.
Indian. You just
Nope.
had to be South African to understand.
100%. 110%. Probably even the guys that they invited, Abo King Swati, Abo Ban, they were probably like, where's the South Africanness in this? Like, where
Who's
is
South
it?
African? Yeah.
Where's hey, but the ladies were dressed up proper.
Oh, yeah.
The ladies looked presentable.
Our first
Huh?
lady, was she presentable?
Our first lady, yes, but people were hating on our first lady on Twitter, which I didn't like.
I saw that she looked like she didn't want to be there. They said.
Yeah, abanye bathi she looks older than Usirel and
Okay, I
those kind
see.
of things. Where I'm like, nah, fam, you don't do
Umuntu
that.
omdala
Umuntu
vele
omdala,
loyo,
you must
and-
respect.
And
your
I got
elders.
involved with my politics
Yeah,
as far as we know. Yeah.
Usiplomela umama udla imali yakhe.
Sure.
You
Imali
understand?
kaSiril. Good
She's a
economic asset.
Motsipe.
Oh, she's a
Yeah, she's a
Motsipe.
Motsipe.
She's
She's
got her own
nice.
guap.
Yeah, she's got her own guap. So, hey, man, stop hating on my old lady.
Stop hating on my lordy. Stay warm. Listen to Spaza talk. Make
Mm.
sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure you comment too.
Zooms,
Yeah.
did you tell them about the change that's going to happen?
I think we must tell them about
I think
the
let's
change.
tell them about the change.
Yeah, I think you guys deserve this. You guys deserve to know this, and we should tell you up front. This is what we're thinking, right? So we've just been sitting down and doing a lot of planning, and we see that you guys love the interviews when we have guests. So we've decided we're actually going to do less of these weekly weekly stats and trending updates.
Sure.
Yeah, and now we're going to give you monthly ones. And in between that, we're also going to give you some things. So some podcasts might not be on camera. Some of them might be audio. So make sure that you also check us out on Spotify. Make sure that you check us out on Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, on Deezer, on Fagaza. Everywhere you can find
the
us.
piracy
Spaza Talk is
version,
there,
you can
yeah.
download it there.
We'll definitely be there, but
Yeah.
we're definitely going to shift it a little bit. And this is just to give you guys more insightful stuff and more information. Instead of a weekly one, we're going to give you a monthly one with deeper insights.
Yeah.
So
deeper
we're gonna
insights.
cut the fat,
Sure.
and we're gonna get into what's trending right now, what matters.
Gonna keep it lean.
Yeah, for sure. What trended last month rather, and what really mattered. Because when we look at this thing, Lev, we're looking at we need to talk about topics that we can all relate to as humans and that
Sure.
have an impact on
And they
us.
have longevity, right?
They have longevity too at the same time. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
So it's that. And then I think just to break it down, in a month, we'll have our monthly trending topic.
Yeah.
We'll have our ad analysis, which
Yes.
is a new one.
We'll talk about that one too again.
We'll talk about that one. We invited some. It's a new face. It's a
Yeah.
new face. We have a lady, of course. I know someone like, hey, where's the lady? Too much, guys.
It's
So
a
we have a
lady.
lady that's going to be analyzing some of the ads. She's a renowned strategist working
Yeah.
on some of the biggest brands. And then we also gonna have a guest every month now.
Sure,
We're
yeah.
gonna talk to someone. Maybe you wanna follow the footsteps ungene kwi industry, which is marketing, advertising, even photography. I think we should interview some photography guys.
For sure. I mean, there's always people that are doing amazing things. And as far as I talk, if it's manga, we are about community, we are
Yeah.
about people that
Yeah.
are doing things that's happening right
Sure,
now. Which is,
sure.
we can speak about it as far
Sure.
as Umbonile mfethu wenzani?
Umbonile lo yamchit.
Sure. So
Yeah.
we definitely will have more creatives on here. I know that creatives want to come onto here.
Sure.
We've been having some marketing guests on here, an amazing guest. Shout out to the guys. We haven't had we've had one lady guest on here. Ladies, what's happening?
How?
Skip on.
Come. In fact, even media owners, right?
Yeah.
If you have a cool product that you are selling, we have a captive audience of marketers and people in the industry. So come, we invite you as a media owner, come through, sell your product. Tell us why they should pick your product over Google or Facebook in some of their media schedules.
For sure, yeah.
Pull up.
For sure, and got some amazing people listening on this and supporting this podcast. But yeah, that's an update from us. Obviously, we'll be kicking this off probably from next week. But
Yes.
we don't want to surprise you guys, and for those loyal fans that have been here, so we really do appreciate you guys. We don't take it for granted, and that's why we tell you this, because you are family. And if we don't tell you what's happening in Lynn,
Hey. Cabang endlini sebathi sokuyibenting. There's no more pap.
no more
And you
papa.
come back from a gym session, you're like, hey, ndiyodla ipapa
Ndiyodla
ngoku."
ipapa manje,
Isikhathi
What
sepapa
do you need to
ufika, kadla, it's just meat. There's
Yeah.
a cabbage there. You're like, oh, no ways.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ningasabi, guys, make sure that you check us out on all the other platforms. Even though we are changing, Siantanda, and we're doing it for the best. We know that you guys love the interviews. I think our future guest almost came in.
Uyenze, ujiki.
Uchi.
Hawu Nkosi.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Siyadlala. But guys, from Umshuti Obashuti, it has been really, really amazing. Without rambling on too much, we love you guys. We'll definitely see you next week. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and make sure that you comment. And of course, our sponsor, Bijam.
Color Space. Color Space. If you don't have a profile on Color Space and you think you take the dopest pictures, I think you're missing out, man.
For
Just
sure.
check it out. If you haven't seen it, just check it out. www.colorspace with OLOR
Yeah.
space
Yeah.
.co.za and put up those best pictures and price it according to what you think it's worth. And then you'll see magic is going to happen.
Straight up. But from Umshuti Obashuti, it has been amazing. Make sure that you stay warm, Gabanda, and make sure that you tune into the channel. every
Kunamanje
single
tokwa ma-okapi manje.
Ulela ngathi i-okapi,
Ulele
Bijam,
ngathi
ukuthi-
okapi, amboshela.
kanti kumele ufake i-electric blanket ushele mfethu uyabona ya kuthi noma efika umamazi
Thole ku-warm.
yeah alright from Umshuti Obashuti, peace.
From Lebogang. Hey man, my engine number today. Lebogang. Matonsi.
Was that a mistake?
Ciao.
that a
No,
mistake?
no, it's not a mistake. They should know the engine sometimes. You should go by your VIN. A traffic cop, you need to know your VIN number off by heart. Like
Melish.
WX blah, blah, blah. Like I we chonchang.
Hayi, Lebogang.